Welcome back on this Monday afternoon. Last month, we had guest Michelle McCullough here talking about how podcasting can be a good marketing tool for your business.
Well, today, Michelle is back to share with us the equipment and the technology that we need to get started. Because I think a lot of people, we mentioned that statistic, 44% of people or whatever listen to these podcasts. A lot of them very regularly and use it to find out things. You know, they use it as a tool. They go on the Apple Store, wherever, to find out new information. And this is really easy.
Yeah, absolutely. I started my first podcast in 2013 with my laptop, and I used the microphone in my laptop. And so over time, it's grown and expanded to different things, but even still, I run my podcast using a $35 headset, so it doesn't have to be a lot.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about what you use. You've got the headset, but I love the microphone, by the way.
Yes, so this headset is just it's called a gaming headset even, and it just has the microphone built in, so it takes out the surrounding sound a little bit better, and then I can hear clearly what I'm being recorded. And then I use this one for my group podcast. We have a podcast with 6 women, and this is called an omnidirectional mic, and the omnidirectional microphone can take people all around a room, or just do it dual if you're just doing an interview type. So this one was like $140, this one's $35, so it's actually pretty cheap to get started unless you want to expand into some bigger things.
And then what do you do beyond that? I mean, you have to have a computer? Do you have to have some sort of special software to record, or what?
Yeah, so the computer, I just use a laptop. You can use a full system if you want. You can use a desktop as long as you have the ability to hook in with some electronics and some audio. But the software, if you're a Mac person like I am, I use GarageBand, and that can make MP3 files. For PCs, they can use something called WavePad or Audacity. And there's a number of different types out there. Those are just the ones we've kind of tested. But anything that can make and record an MP3 from the things that you have, most of them are free. And then you've got a podcast.
And what should people be looking for when they're putting together a podcast? Because it's one thing to create one, but it's another thing to get people to listen to it.
No, absolutely. I think creating really good content is key. And for business owners, you have to be careful that you're providing value and not selling. You can still have commercials and things that you put in there, but the information is what people are looking for. And they want to know that you're the expert in your business. So tell stories, bring in information, but then continue to be consistent. Because the one thing that we see time and time again with the podcasts that make it and the podcasts that don't is just providing a regular consistency. Are you going to be every Monday or every Tuesday? And we have taken breaks from time to time for seasons, which is okay as long as you announce that to your audience. But really, once you're in someone's ears and you have that kind of intimate experience, they kind of have an expectation from you, and they want it on a regular basis, and that's how you get committed, raving fans.
Okay, so you have the equipment, you have the software. Then where do you go to put it out there where people can find it? How do you get it to iTunes or Stitcher?
Yeah, this is one of the trickiest parts. So you can't upload it directly to iTunes or Stitcher. You have to use a separate service. One of the most common is called Libsyn, Libsyn. And you go into Libsyn and you can create your whole channel. You can put up your artwork that's specific to you and your podcast. You can type in your description, and then as you upload the episodes, they get approved, and then you can just produce them live and push them to iTunes, and they show up on iTunes and Stitcher or whatever that you pick within Libsyn. So
pay for that, or is that free?
Well, it's free up to a certain storage limit. So as you start going and you get more and more podcasts, and you pay small amounts. I think we pay like $9.99 a month for all of the episodes we've ever had. So it's really not expensive. They just kind of serve as an extra server, which is great, because otherwise it would bog down your server. So it's nice to use some of the big boys.
On the back end, do you know how people are listening and how long they're listening?
Yeah, so different services, and Libsyn is one, will tell you how many downloads you get a month. We also have extra services installed that tell us how many downloads come from iTunes versus how many come from our website or somewhere else. And we can see the duration of time and how long people listen. So it's really great to have those statistics on the back end, but people are listening to podcasts longer than they watch YouTube videos. So it's really great to keep that in your mind, because they're doing it while they're doing something else. Multitaskers, they're driving to work, or they're at the gym, or they're cleaning the dishes, and so they tend to have a longer attention span for podcasts, which is one reason why I love them.
Good way to get that captive audience for sure, and people who are seeking out products that you may be selling or producing for your business. Michelle McCullough is here. Great ideas for the podcast. If people want more information, where can they go?
You can go to speakmichelle.com/KSL, and we've got lots of information and details there on my website.
Why not try a podcast?
Yeah.
Why not?
Sounds fun. We should do one.
Yeah.
You know?
We should.
Coming up next.